Lord have mercy.
That's my car right.
Follow me, Nutz. He said,
y'all know who that is right there. Y'all know who that is.
It's deep discussions with these nuts. It's these nuts. It's these a nut. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, none of that. I mean, I stole words right out of this nigga mouth.
Worldwide with a Reverend Priest Tabernacle to him all day long.
And the church say amen.
Episode 12. Man, listen, man, what's with this Karen chick? Man, we're gonna hit y'all with a couple different topics, you know what I'm saying? But this Karen civil, man,
from what I understand, she ain't been that civil. She gonna end up in civil court. I mean, maybe even criminal court. Wait. Maybe criminal court, because if you say you've been hacking into people's accounts, I mean, that's 2 courts. That's 2 courts. You silly, man.
She wilding, dog. Like, you know, folks on violation type, you know, things up in here, man.
Gotta be careful.
The way she functioning out here, you understand, is not conducive to,
like, son,
sticking around for too long.
Like, son, I'm all cool with you trying to get on here, trying to act like you gangster and be like, yeah, I did it. And what? Yeah, who gonna do what when I do what? Yeah, orange suits look good on me, silver bracelets, yeah. It sounds good, man. It's entertaining. It's like polite flicking dollars and getting applause from his cash.
We didn't know. I guess I didn't know.
But when you do that, this America, folks, you gotta suffer consequences.
But just a quick rundown, real quick, man. Let them know a couple topics, man. We're gonna touch on today. Man.
No doubt, sir.
Karen, you know.
Well, we're gonna touch on Karen, of course. We're gonna kind of go in depth with that first, of course. Then we're gonna move on to Brother Polite. And you know what we're seeing from, like, if you look at Karen Civil and you look at Brother Polite, they are people who were embedded in the hood, came out of struggles, cut it from the mud, right? And then all of a sudden created that soap sud that rose to the top. And then Brother Polite and Karen Civil drop right in front of our eyes. Listen, they're kind of similar though, because now they're going through controversy around the same time. Then we're going to get to A.J. Johnson, some of the untimely deaths.
R.I.P.
Come on, Michael K. Williams. Listen, man, we're going to talk about some others that, you know, sometimes when people pass away, it go over our head. Go ahead, talk about it.
No, just, you know, some of our fallen greats.
And it's like we kind of like go through like a grief and loss period with them for about a month, and then we move on to the next, and we almost forget such and such passed away 6 months ago. So it's good to give the rundown reminder. Like, these people are to be honored, bro. And lastly but not least, we trying to touch the streets. We're going to talk about where that mandated vaccination might leave you with livelihood and such. It's going to be a tough one. Y'all watch Biden do that press conference about it. Talk about, you know, their patience is running thin because people don't want to get vaccinated. We're going to talk about what it's going to leave you during, you know, travel. Travel, and also like you thinking about your jobs. It's going to affect your kids going to school, and they're really boxing you into a choice that they want you to make. That's not freedom of choice. It's what they. So I can sometimes if you're on the fence politically about voting Democrat and liberal, I can understand sometimes where the Republicans and the conservatives have a point, because you don't want government choosing this kind of stuff and boxing you in, talking about if you want to live in our world, you got to get vaccinated. But we'll get into that, man. So,
it's you know, we knew that was coming down the pipeline.
We knew it.
You know, ain't that surprising. You know, it was only, you know, old Joe right on time with it.
October 21, 2021. Remember, this might come into a mandate everywhere in America.
No, listen, on another note, look, Executive Drip, the EP dropping this Halloween. Yeah, my brethren right here.
Yo.
Listen, y'all want to tune into this, grown folks. Rick Ross vibes, you understand? Look, this is going to be real shit. But again, Executive Drip.
Executive Drip, and let me say something about Executive Drip. We was listening to a song today and another song and some more beats that He gonna deliver on because it's that Miyagi Vice. And let me just tell you, when you listen to it, you're gonna get that vibe of a J. Cole mixed with a Player Circle. Meek Mill and J. Cole. You're gonna get a combination. It's the young cats are gonna like it, but you ever known anybody 40 and up to just rush out and rush to their computers and get some hip hop that they can sit in their car to and be a boss? Status.
This is for, I don't care, you're 20 and up, 18 and up. So you gonna buy. See, the thing about it, just like with Ross, man, you understand the demographic is both the youngest. It's that space right in between to bridge that gap between the older and the younger. That's where we at with it. Get in.
So as we sit inside this skyline in front of Cup Foods, we in the hood, South Minneapolis. You know how we do. That's that 38th in Chicago.
Infamous, it's called George Floyd Square now.
Yo, before we get into this, I know we got a short time frame, but let me ask you, man, what you been getting into anyway? It's a busy dude, man. I mean, he'll always answer his phone for you, but you might catch him doing one of the 8 hustles.
Damn. I mean, we you know what I'm saying? We really trying to get this digital currency out here. Yeah, you have to understand me.
Fast money. Fast money.
Jewelry store.
Yeah.
Houseofshana.com. That's SHANA.
Follow.
Okay, get your little jewelry game on. You dig? Then you got the motivatefitnessgear.com. You know what I'm saying? You help.
Don't try that.
Enthusiasts. Y'all get out there, get yourself some little, performance gear, whatnot, to do what you got to do. Health is wealth.
Mm-hmm. Don't try to act like y'all fat overweights who trying to get in shape. I said it all great. You gonna need some fitness gear. Don't get out there and just like some biker shorts and some ankle socks, tube socks with some old Reeboks. Listen, you might need to go to that store right here and get you some gear, But anywho,
we try to tap into a little bit of everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Kevin's
ownership, wealth building. You already know what it is, man. But let's get to it, man. Let's get to it, man.
Karen Civil, Jersey. Shout out to Jersey Star.
I don't know, y'all looking real shaky.
Joe Button. People
Jersey,
I appreciate.
Y'all know what it is, man. Even the BM is from Brick City, man. So
I will. Hey,
how dirty they is.
Hey. Remember that New Jersey drive? Yo, imagine people. Imagine people in Minnesota watching that New Jersey Drive movie back in the day. We like, huh? They cats be stealing cars like that, huh? I mean, I could leave my car running in some cities in Minnesota. I mean, New Jersey Drive. Whoa, you may not drive after you park. But listen. I wanted to know. I respect Star. I respect Joe Button. I respect Wendy Williams is out of Jersey, and Karen Civil. They all bosses, but they do have a little swag about them in Jersey. It appears where you gotta be careful with them. You gotta be careful with them. They seem like, they can be like, you're gonna be a millionaire tomorrow, and they make you a millionaire tomorrow. But at the same time, they be like, I ain't say you wasn't gonna lose money. See, that's Jersey niggas.
Hey, they like to talk about my Nigerian boy dies.
Who that did?
But damn, Jersey, they ain't got nothing on them, man. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying.
Man, y'all looking real tight out here, man. Cause look. I ain't even who was the original? Who was the first cat, man? They was talking about. I think it was Jordan Lucas, and she got him for about 60 racks.
Okay.
Then you said who else been working with him?
Okay, check this out. I'm gonna tell you who's working with him. I'm gonna tell you where the story first caught. Yo, so let me just run through just a quick list of names of some people she's worked with, and I'm gonna get to this list in a minute in terms of the significance of it. But we got Dipset, Cameron, Lil Wayne, Beats by Dre, helped Dre get that billion. Nipsey, you got King Von, Joyner Lucas.
Why she got a mood like that? That's what's tripping me out.
She is currently in a court proceeding with Jesse Wu. Work with Meek Mills and YG. Now, I heard about this story crack maybe earlier 2021, late 2020 on the Star Report, another Jersey representative. And he had a podcast, shout out to the Star Report, where I heard it first, giving credit where credit's due. he had a podcast about his Karen Civil evil, because this is right around the time, around the time King Von passed away from us. Okay. During around that time, he had that part up, and what he was asking is everyone that Karen Civil works with, and shout out Ronnie from the Star Podcast as well, because she was on there giving her insight. Everyone that she's worked with has either passed away or has something bad happen to him, and we laughed at Cameron. We said he was hating and everything when he first popped it. But imagine the story she told about him on the Breakfast Club. And you know, Charlamagne, Angelique, shout out to the Breakfast Club, but y'all friends with her. And being friends with somebody compromises your objectivity. So y'all going to cheerlead her while she's sitting up there saying this story. What you think of this story? She says, one day we was, I don't know why she's telling the story. One day we sitting in a parking space at Def Jam or something affiliated with Rockefeller. And Cam's in the passenger seat. I mean, the driver's seat. She's in the Karen Civil's in the passenger seat. A Maybach pulls up. She said, "Oh, a car just stopped there. We better move. This must be their spot." Cam says, according to Karen Civil, "Nah, let's chill." The car doesn't move. It waits. Finally, Jay gets out, and I don't remember after that. The point is, she said the day after, Dipset was told to leave the building. Cam gets on and says she's a liar. He even has a outlet where he has her on speakerphone saying, "Why did you steal 60K from such and such?" And she says, "Because I gotta eat." That sounds a lot like, yeah, I hacked into Jason Lee's account, and I look good in orange. Cocky.
And that just speaks to the entitlement piece. Ain't no brother gonna ever say, "I look good in orange." You know what I'm saying?
Even building with you always tell me, and you kind of get me in the mindset of brothers make moves trying to do business, but it's always good to see the sisters making moves doing business. And Karen Civil over the years has been making moves. She was on intern on Hot 97 with Funk Flex. I mean, she's been in there, dog. So you like females like that, but you see what business might do to a person, male or female. Look at this female making moves. You appreciate the grind, but she turns corrupt. Too many people coming out, man. 2 and 3 touch and agree.
That's what's getting me, man. The number of folks that's coming out like, hey, you know what I'm saying? She done got me.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Now, I didn't even know she was going ham. Old dude, what's the dude from Love and Hip Hop? Jason something?
Jason Lee, man.
I think he was just on the Breakfast Club. Said she exposed, or she paid a little young cat like 20 racks to get my man to hack into his shit or something like that.
This is hilarious.
Get it taken down, man. Like she definitely a fake ass Olivia Pope. What she said she was?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yo, son, I'm not gonna sit there and know. I mean, most dudes who know this kind of world is a possibility. We not getting on there talking about, yeah, I did anything. So she's a little bit cocky. Maybe she's well connected. Who knows? But what I do understand is this. In regards to Joyner Lucas, one of my favorite
Shout out Joyner Lucas, man. Earth Gang.
Golly, these guys right here, JID, these boys are really, you know, we both like 42-year-olds. We older guys.
Hold on, we 24 years, bro. You know this thing.
Flip it.
This thing in them at Grandpa Avenue. This is the grind Ave.
Let's grind. But we've been grinding. But I do appreciate younger guys like this who are doing it well, you know, out here, you know, pushing it up. But what was I gonna say there? What I mentioned?
No, just the JID, Earth Gang, J. Cole.
Right. These guys are doing it big, man. And so, like, my whole thing is, you know, shoot, I don't even know my thought now, man. We came in, that's what I be afraid of on live, but it doesn't matter. Listen, Karen Civil, my whole point is we was talking about Karen Civil, and the thing is, man, with her, it's a bit shiesty because, that's what I was saying. Joyner Lucas, the Joyner Lucas thing. We was talking about MCs we respect. So Joyner Lucas, getting back to that thing.
You know, he from Beantown.
I respect Joyner. I'm glad I didn't lose this thought. But Joyner, the only thing that's kind of cloudy right now is she acknowledges the fact you gave her $60,000. But in that kind of world, she gets on a podcast and she starts to list different things that she tried to do for you. And if it didn't pan out, it was already a gamble. So you got to make it clear for the people, my brother. Did she take 60 G's and not do a thing for you? See, that was the part I was, and I ain't want to say that on the air because I respect Joyner a lot, like the other MCs we mentioned. But ain't that standing out in your mind a little bit? Because you're a businessman.
No, I'm just saying.
No contract.
To me, man, is what I saw. See, that was the piece right there, right?
Okay.
You know, because I went in a couple other outlets, platforms online. I ain't even gonna mention their name with these channels or whatnot. But that was my thing. I'm like, bro, because he said that he had an investor who came through 60 racks, and apparently she didn't fulfill what she was supposed to fulfill. But either way, whoever the investor was, whatever, you got to have that paperwork, man. You can never see that's what's gonna protect everybody, man. But if you didn't have that, look, man, like they say, man, you find the fool, bump their head, man. You know?
And don't get me wrong, you know, like I said, I'm not taking no sides, but Karen Civil is pretty official. I mean, when she worked with Dipset, she was getting them involved with e-commerce for the group. She had a show on Complex that was called Good Looking Dat. I think that's what it's called, Good Looking Dat. Like I told you, she was an intern on Hot 97. So we'll see how that pans out. You know, we don't want to talk more about what we don't know. We never want to do that. But moving right along to Brother Polite, you know, I don't know if you guys have caught the video, and I thought it was quite creative. I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing I'm gonna say right now. The brother had the money going into the cash counter, and it was giving him applause for everything he said. But in contrast to me liking the creativeness, why are you on social media still, sir? They dropped 2 charges and added like 6 of them, and one of which the prosecutor mentioned you are online and the victim feels threatened because like you're saying things online. I've heard many people, shout out to Tahaka Bay. Tahaka's going in on this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, go to Tahaka Bay's page, man. Tell them D's Nutz, Miyagi Vice, the Grind F podcast sent you. Please add that in there. Hashtag that. Because I'm giving a shout out to the brother because he's been on this extensively with every piece of documentation, a great researcher he is with the whole thing. But one thing he pointed out, like others have pointed out, even like many bloggers, why is this brother even still online? He need to get offline because I don't know if he's taking this as serious as he should. But again, like Karen Civil, is he well connected? You mentioned to me he is with Floyd Mayweather. He is with Floyd, and that might have some cachet. He ain't with no politicians or nothing.
I mean, you know, they got that. You know what I'm saying? That that bag. You know what I'm saying?
But don't you need politicians for this?
He's supposed to be his spiritual advisor, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know what I'm saying?
The whole
I didn't like the whole money thing.
The whole money thing was based on people saying, like Brother Minister Inky and all these different people coming on different podcasts saying that Polite really don't have money. I mean, you can literally go on Amazon and purchase a stack of money that looks like real money, like most people do for their videos. You could put that in the cash counter as well. So the whole objective was people coming on saying he really ain't got paper like that, while he's getting on media talking about he has $100,000 set aside for stuff like this. Then the 6 charges get added after the 2 got dropped, and now it's like he has to owe more money in bail money. But at the same time, it's like you put aside $100,000, you might need more. This has been the ongoing joke on social media. So now he comes back with the applause with the change counter, and all we saying is, brother. Maybe not so much brother anymore if the allegations are true. But we're giving everyone a chance. I'm going to tell you right now, you got to stay off social media and take the case seriously. Unless perhaps like Karen Civil, you are well protected in certain areas. What do you think, man?
You're definitely well protected, man.
Do you need to have money for that or potential for that? For somebody who has money to say, come along with me and I'll get you the clout and all the connections you need. Do you have to have money to collab with them, or do you have to have just like that cachet, that potential?
Well, obviously, I mean, she know who's hot, what's going on right now. That's her job. Like, that's the thing. That's what she's been able to capitalize, you know what I'm saying? And make a career out of it. So clearly, everybody we listing is people who, even with the Joyner situation, I was thinking that was something recent, but he was like, nah, that was 2014, 2015, when he was just about to. But you see what I'm saying? So she's good at eyeing, even at the time you said her and Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? She was tied into what Nipsey was doing. So it's like, okay, she clearly, you know what I'm saying?
And she had that
going on in the industry.
She had that interesting pod where she was talking about Nipsey and how heartfelt she was for the whole thing. But see, listen, you even kind of told me that there's a possibility. That's why I had to give love to Joyner and give him his roses first, because you even told me that, Joyner didn't really do a contract, it sounded like. He kind of did it like he was coming to find her thirsty. And then that leaves room for somebody to hustle you a little bit.
Because again, this is when he had first started, you know what I'm saying? He's just getting, you know what I'm saying, getting his feet in the door. He's working with a cat, had a little money as an investor. And, hired her to do a job. But my whole thing was, listen, as you had paperwork in place that makes that a legally binding situation, you couldn't have got it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they couldn't have finessed you like that, if that's what happened. She's saying she fulfilled what she was supposed to do. So clearly, though, it was a disconnect. A contract will outline everything that's supposed to be going on. You see what I'm saying? So it can't be no confusion.
Okay, so let me ask you the big question before we move on to our third segment.
Sure.
People like Karen Civil, people like Brother Polite, do you feel like their ego is out of control? Is that money thing that does that? What do you think that's about, brother? Like, come on, drop a gem for me, because that's weird to me. Money's supposed to empower you and make you more of the person you are. But if that's the case, are we all just jacked up? Most of us, you got an ego like this, arrogant.
Money the root of all evil, right? Or the love of money, and that's what we talking about. She ain't doing none of this for free. She getting that bag out here. After I seen how Jason Lee went in on details, how she beat him at his own game, that he had to circle back, pretend to be her. You know what I'm saying? It's like a damn soap opera, man. But the thing is, this made me think about the industry as a whole. These are the type of people you got out there. These are all part of the whole gatekeeper thing that's going on. Clearly, she was a person of influence. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sought her out for her services to make some things happen.
Okay.
Yeah. They trusted her.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is a tough one for me. Because I'm all for money, but if it turns you into like somebody who's it's an evil person that's not really trying to build, I don't really understand that. I don't know. And then getting back to Polite real quick, Polite's still on social media after, Polite went on Vlad TV a couple years back talking about, before he even was known by us in the conscious community, how he was accused of shooting at somebody that was from Dr. York's camp. And there was a story about how Dr. York gave him a store to run, and there was a big controversy with Dr. York's kids and him on who should run the store. So he was arrogant, or enough to go in front of people and say this particular thing. Then you have in 2021 on Tahaka Bay's podcast, where the sister's name is I believe, where she recants the story of she was supposed to come downstairs and address Polite about why certain utilities wasn't being paid, but certain people who was affiliated with Dr. York was using the stores and buildings and houses and whatnot. So Polite scheduled the meeting, and Polite did mention on Vlad TV that the reason why he was even one of the suspects is because he scheduled the meeting. Well, she was supposed to come downstairs and talk about it. What ended up happening was her brother went downstairs instead, protecting her, and he ended up getting shot in the head by somebody from Polite's camp. And she said she came down after the fact to check on her brother, and seen people from Polite's camp and Polite stuff in the trash. So it's just weird that if that story's floating out there, if you was arrogant enough a couple years back to come out and tell your side of it to cover yourself, possibly, why would you still be on social media when your life is on the line? I don't really understand arrogant people. I don't care if they're brother, sister, whoever or not. It's like, dude, when your life is on the line, calm down.
You can definitely see just the influence, by the Almighty Dollar. Even our conscious brothers get out of character. You see what I'm saying? And start to buy into the hype of what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So for me, when I saw him on the video with the money counter and he doing all of this, for one, he taking a page out of Floyd's book.
Talk about that real quick.
No, I'm just saying because Floyd's supposed to be his, point. That's who he, he's supposed to be Floyd's spiritual guide or whatever, counselor, so to speak. But I could just see what he's doing. It's like, dude, first of all, you in the conscious community, man. We above that. You above any of that. You shouldn't even have to. Who cares? But come on, bro. Folks look at you as a leader, especially my brother, man.
I know. I did hear Brother Polite say, because he speaks very highly of the not religion, because Kemet didn't have a religion. Kemet was people, and then they had principles and such so forth. But that's why he says a lot of time that the black woman is God, relating back to the Ankh, the thing that gives life. If you look at the Ankh, how it's created with the shaft, it looks like a kid. It looks like, something in the mother's womb. So the Ankh represents. So he always talks about Kemet, and he always says the black woman is God, and making money is a religion. So to go off what you just said, yeah, you in the conscious community, but see, maybe from even before we was born, bruh, people was thinking about they could hustle off anything, even consciousness. Never know.
Yeah, you right.
But listen, I want to touch on
even consciousness.
I want to touch on something you said to me. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you all, ladies and gentlemen, to the only brother on this planet with ESP or good research and skills. It doesn't even matter. I haven't found it yet. I haven't seen it yet, but my brother told me, and rest in peace to AJ Johnson. Very good comedian. R.I.P. Ezel, man. Like this is like the Alex Thomases, the AJ Johnsons of the world, who were funny to us on Comic View back in the early 90s. They really they grinded so hard and never really got the publicity of a Martin Lawrence or a Chris Tucker or a Bernie Mac. So not all of us get it. D.L. Hughley, right? Now that all of us get, man, even even hanging with Mr. Cooper, dude. Like, come on, like it's so tight on us. Damon Wayans just retired because he said something about Bill Cosby and was trying to be jokey on Breakfast Club and got blown out of Porsche. He retired.
Yeah, so I didn't hear about that. Damon Wayans?
Yeah. So this was a few years back when Damon was on Breakfast Club, and he was just saying something about this. What he said. Watch this. My man Damon Wayans said 30 females, came forward. 30 females. Hey, a lot of them females don't even look like somebody would even talk to them. Now, that's what he said. Don't demonetize us. I'm just repeating why he retired, and that was the reason. Because of that comment, he got a lot of backlash from it, almost cancel culture style. And then, boom, wow, he's out of here. His son's doing stuff. Shout out to Damon Wayans Jr. But the point I'm making is, you said AJ Johnson predicted his own death in a stand-up or interview.
I saw somebody say, somebody had said that, man, but
is that true?
That might have been clickbait, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're gonna move past the click.
Might have been some
But let me just say this: roses for the third segment to Michael K. Williams, AJ Johnson, DMX, Shock G, and Black Rob. And if I forgot anybody, I apologize, because it's just seeming like more and more as we get into the deep. We're in the early 2020s, and it's almost kind of like, man, every year we starting to get hit with like a loss. It's kind of started back when the Michael Jacksons and the Princes and they started to go.
Even before then.
And I don't know what it is. Maybe I can't speak for other races, but growing up in the hood with other black people, we always look at Michael Jordan and thought he was going to jump forever. We look at black people that we admire and be like, they're going to live forever. And then when they go at 50, like my auntie did, we are average people over here, but he went at 52. He got great health insurance. He can buy the hospital, but still went. It showed me something. It showed him something, I think, too. It's like, this is starting to be a common theme going in from the early 2020s. We in 2021.
Black men in general, too.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's like brothers ain't making it out to 50s, it seems, man.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, because, we done heard a little extra stuff going on, drug use, might overdose. Whoa, that's another thing, too. That's another issue in itself, man. And we
talk about that more.
We already got.
I got something for
you.
you.
People, when it comes to this whole health thing, certain things that we are, I guess, prone to health-wise.
I'm with you.
So then when you throw the whole drug use thing onto it.
Well, listen.
I mean, what's really going on?
Ladies,
we talking about like the hard stuff, you understand? And so, a couple of those cases and the people we mentioned earlier, that supposedly was the result, was the cause of it. So, like you said, I mean, can we attribute this to the mental health issues that are going on? Because, like Martin said, he told us back when he did the Run Tell That thing, nobody's immune to the trials and tribulations of life, brother.
Yeah.
We think because these people are celebrities, we look up to them and all that, but at the end of the day, they real people.
And when Martin was out there running on, whatever that wasn't, there you go, talking about somebody was trying to kill him. Like, listen, come on.
He got into the scuffle with a boy in the club, went jogging, fell out. Martin went through it, man. If you notice, he's not the same Martin that he was back in the days, man. And I think that's some of these things were traumatic for the brother, man.
Well, listen, I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna get to that first question that my guy was talking about. First of all, hey, shout out to Rico Lamar. Just want to get that out there. Listen, let me just tell you something real quick. One thing you said that made me kind of like perk up a little bit was you said strong drugs, strong ones. Well, let's a couple things I want to say. First of all, strong drugs are also prescription drugs. So the same doctor that you have faith in, peace of mind in, is giving you something perhaps stronger than cocaine. I mean, it's really, let me cover myself, please. It's really all about the body type and what kind of body you are. I heard somewhere one time that black people just might genetically have higher blood pressure than Caucasian individuals. But in America, we all go off 120 over 80. So we're always going by the Western medicine system. Okay, so when you say strong drugs to me, I just say that's anything across the board, legal or illegal. Second thing, no. Do you know how hard it is, ladies and gentlemen, to be on your purpose and really be striving and get kicked down, stand back up, get a chance, get a slight appearance on one of them hot sitcoms and fall back down, then get a chance to audition. After all of this, I done did this 17, 18 times. Now I got an audition. I was in The Wire. Notice I said Wire. Shout out to Michael K. Williams. Rest in peace. You mean to tell me he can have a starring role like that and y'all still testing him with auditions?
Boy, man, Eric Lane, man. Shout out to Eric Lane, man. He was in Barbershop, man. I met the brother, man, at the gym. He was also in the whole Trapped in the Closet series shit with R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Cool brother, but he was, you know, I met dude, and he was just like, man, you know, just. You know, I think with him he was typecast a lot because I think he was in Waist Deep, kind of a buff brother. So you know,
gonna put him in that role. You know it.
He's either the crook, you know, the bad guy, or he's the damn jail dude or something. And so,
put a pin in what he just said.
You know, a lot of times those are the roles that he would end up in. But I remember him even kind of telling me, you know, I ain't gonna go into specifics, but just how, you know, he was just having a hard time dealing with that, bro. And I was like, damn, at the end of the day, these people are real people, man. And, you know, we can't forget that, man. You know, the folks that we know of, the stars, it seemed like, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of them out there, or it's easy to become one, man. But it's like, man, it's a lot of pressure on these guys.
You remember the light-skinned,
you know what I'm saying, stay in that limelight.
You remember the light-skinned dude off of the movie Tales from the Hood? He was also in Get on the Bus. His dad had him handcuffed with him. The light-skinned brother.
I can't picture him right now.
He was also in Snowfall as he was dating the sister of the brother he was fighting against for a minute. Well, the point I'm making is he was on Vlad. Yeah, he was on Vlad TV one time giving an interview about a movie he did where he had to really contemplate about doing a gay scene. And it didn't really, his spirit didn't really feel it. So the point I'm making is when you talk about hard drugs and when you're on your purpose and you just try to get through day to day, minute to minute, I'm reaching the people in the streets right now. Sometimes you don't want to be a drug addict. You don't want to drink Chardonnay every day, perhaps like moi. You don't want to smoke cigars, but you just trying to get it. You're trying to do whatever you got to do because things that used to be entertaining to you or captured your mind to like buy some time ain't really popping no more. Now you're older and now you're finding new hobbies, and it's tough sometimes when you're still on your grind and your purpose. So I want y'all to really understand AJ Johnson, Michael K. Williams, DMX, Shock G, Black Rob, individuals like that. If I missed anybody, they just did that stuff hardcore because they was just trying to like keep themselves up. Some of y'all drink Monster drinks. Some of y'all drink Red Bull. Some of y'all do cocaine. Whatever makes you wake up. Coffee. Lastly, last segment. Since we're touching the people in the streets with the short time we have, the mandated vaccinations that are coming, that's going to challenge your employment on jobs. You're going to have to, yeah, they are. In some states, you got to show a vax card at the airport. They're even saying a lot of the work that myself and my brother Miyagi Vice does. We sit up and we try to, with the whole bar certified stuff, we try to find state contracts, federal contracts. We try to bring this stuff back to the hood as best we can with different kind of funding. And they're even saying if you have a government contract, not even COVID, you have to get vaccinated. So this is going to compromise a lot of people in their everyday life now. This is where they was telling you, leave the gun laws alone. Get your pistols. Get registered for a pistol because they're taking jobs away from people. And on the flip side, if you're watching how the school system is going with the whole people ain't driving buses and kids ain't getting home on time, people don't even want to drive buses and take jobs because they got the unemployment going on. So what I'm saying is you got to half the people not wanting to work because they're getting unemployment. You getting half the people over here who's like not being able to work because these mandates on the vaccination is coming down. And what you're going to have is what they're doing. They're sicking. How you tell your dog back in the day when you was little? Sick 'em. They sicken each other. They sicken us on each other. Watch yourselves.
We saw this coming.
Yeah, man. I was waiting for it. October 21.
You know, nothing surprises me, man, these days. You understand. So you just got to stay ready to keep from getting ready. You understand? You know, I'm solid on my stance in that, you know, with this whole, you know, with the vaccine deal, brother, it's still experimental. You understand? At this point, and
Yeah.
So
Why
for
do you
me,
want
well,
somebody to take something that's still being experimented on? Talk about. Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's just common sense. Don't get me
But you're not
wrong.
gonna be able
I
to.
get it. Folks got to do what they got to do.
That's what I'm saying.
If I eventually, get with it, that's one thing. But
Yo, I hate to break the hearts of all. I hate to break. Listen, I'm not the hardest brother on the block. Never. No, 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 no. I try to be somewhere in the middle. I gotta protect my family. But let's be clear: the hardest brother on the block, the hardest whoever on the block, the most conscious brother on the block, who be telling people to. No, well, yeah, but the most conscious brother on the block could be telling parents to homeschool their kids, don't work them jobs, da 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 da. We in real time, and I don't fault no brother or sister, especially if you're on that business tip and your purpose, and you still gotta work a job, and you have to get poked with that vax. I get it. Just know your brother. Just know your brother. Just know your brother gets it.
Yeah, you definitely.
Sometimes you can't do your research in time before you have to get it.
I get that. What it comes down to is a choice.
You cannot not pay your bills. You have to live in shelter with electricity and heat. Winter's coming.
The thing about it is, right? It's experimental still. You understand? So one thing for sure, we done found out, yeah, you can get the vax, but then you can still get COVID. Then it was, well, the vaccine's supposed to prevent you from dying. Well, now we done had deaths from people who done had the vaccine. So, once again, it is still trial and error, and only time will tell. But basically, until they keep refining this vaccination. You see what I'm saying? It's going to come with some casualties, and that's just the reality of it.
And
we know that.
I'll wrap with this, and I'll let you get the last word, my brother. Let me tell you something. I like what he just said. He said a lot of great points in there. But let me just say real quick, this goes for me too. I done put a lot of stuff in my body. I never researched what was in a cigar before I did it. I did it after. I never researched other things like wine or liquor, whatever I put in my body. So those individuals who are screaming from the rooftops about I'm not taking no vaccination because I don't trust what's in it, and you ain't never done the research, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from the select few people who are actually going in there and telling me at times, man, there's squid DNA in there. And see, those individuals, they kind of probably watch what they eat, watch what they drink, watch what they smoke, watch everything. So that makes sense for people like that. But don't you just not some liberal from the high tops who can get me to listen if you don't never research nothing you put in your bodies and you eat Takis.
You better be. But again, this is for Corona. This is for COVID-19. This is the pandemic that folks ain't even been a part of before. This is something different. You know what I'm saying? You right. Folks drink every day. Folks smoke cigarettes every day.
Do they research it?
They do that every day.
Do they research it?
I don't know if they research.
I don't research what's in.
Those are common things.
I don't research what's in Yellowtail Chardonnay. I don't do that before I drink.
I bet you Yellowtail Chardonnay been around longer than the COVID vaccine.
Facts, but what's going into my body for me, specifically me?
Much information going on with regard to this vaccine that they keep on talking about they refine it. See that? Therein lies the problem. It ain't been around a year yet. That's what we talking about. Now, like I said, that's why I said it go down to choices. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if that's what you feel like you got to do, right away, then go ahead and do that right. If you feel that's what you got to do. Now, keep in mind, Tuskegee experiment. It's the same America, man. You see what I'm saying? They don't care.
I'm at that bar today, ordering that Chardonnay. About to get called away.
I'm making you a guinea pig. We know this.
Slaughter day.
So when you know better, you do.
I bought a date.
That's just what it is. Now,
off that online service.
They done made it up themselves.
I did it with a purpose.
You understand?
I don't want to hurt us.
Real in the field, y'all. But look,
I just want to get some pleasure. Murder.
All day long, man. Look, me and my brother Logic, these nuts, please, man. These topics, man, because I kept seeing stuff pop up about this chick Karen, man. I'm like, yo, how she still out? She out? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna reserve my thoughts. I'm gonna reserve my future thoughts.
That's a sister at the end of the day. But look,
I don't want to pass judgment.
Get it together though. Get your shit together, because you want something else, man. But until then, man, we gonna holler at y'all, man. Stay tuned. Like I said, Executive Drip the EP. You did coming down the pipeline. Halloween. You know, we're gonna be pushing that. You did. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow us, man. Boss Certified Entertainment across social media, man. Look, I'm just building, man. I ain't even got nothing to say. You see my brother over here, bro. Yeah, you understand, man. This is Saturday. You dig? It ain't over yet.
I gotta go to sleep. Nigga, peep how I do it. You can fade it out week.
Hey, look, man, we still
after the end of the week. I'm gonna get it going on. I'm going to finna tweak.
Going on, man.
Let me know when I speak. When you